and welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole and here on We Mama I do lots of motherhood, lifestyle, cleaning and organisational videos. So if you like that kind of content, I would love it if you could stick around and maybe consider subscribing. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be 10 of my Christmas traditions. Some of these are pretty old school that I do every year. Some of them I've done since I was a kid, and this year I'm definitely starting to incorporate a few more into the mix now that I have got 2 babies. So my number one Christmas tradition is getting a Christmas tree. We always get a real Christmas tree. It always reminds me of when I was little. My mum was very particular. She really liked to have a huge real pine tree and she used to decorate it in like a Victorian style Christmas tree, and so I since then kind of like taken on that tradition. I love having a real tree. Some people, I understand, just can't deal with the mess, but there's just something about walking into your home and having that fresh like pine scent in your home. It just brings back so many lovely memories of my childhood Christmas. It just makes me feel so nostalgic, and I really hope I can recreate those kind of nostalgic memories for my 2 children by doing this, and that I can pass on this tradition with them. I really wanted to go to a Christmas tree farm this year, but due to the coronavirus there was very limited spaces, so we just ended up going to a garden centre and picking up our tree that way. My little boy Didier chose it and I absolutely love it. Number 2 on my list is wearing Christmas jumpers for as long as I can remember now. I think it's mainly started because I had to wear them for work, but on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day sometimes I like to dress up and get a bit fancy, and then most of the time we just wear Christmas jumpers. I've just got some nice normal Christmassy ones, I've got some funny ones, and I just tend to make it my own little Christmas tradition that every Christmas now, especially since having children, I don't really have the time to get all fancy and dressed up, so it's just easier to whack on a Christmas jumper. So yeah, that's my new little Christmas tradition for the past 2 years now, I think. Number 3 on my list is making gingerbread men. I love making gingerbread men. They are so easy to make. It's something that I can actually make without burning and messing up the recipe, and once I've actually made them, they actually taste okay. They are edible, which is news for me because I'm not very good at cooking. But I love making these and I make them every year. This year I can't wait to make them from scratch with my little boy, and he is going to help me make them, and then of course once they've cooled, to decorate them. I can't wait for him to join in. Number 4 of my Christmas traditions is having a Christmas film and wrapping present night. We don't tend to have a strict day, but before we had children we used to do this on the 1st of December. We'd go and get our tree and spend like the rest of the day just getting really Christmassy, decorating our house, and then getting mulled wine or hot chocolate, having mince pies, and sitting down, putting like a Christmas film on, and then sitting down to wrap Christmas presents. This year we have done that. We did ours the other day. We got all our presents wrapped out the way. But now that we've got children, we can't do it all in one day because toddlers, having 2 under 2 is strenuous, so we can't fit all of that into one day anymore, and that's okay. The OCD in me says it's not, but it's okay. So we just end up doing this on a different day now, and we actually wrapped our presents the other night. We put all the babies to sleep, we got all the presents down, we sorted them into piles and put the new Grinch film on and wrapped all our presents with some hot mulled wine, and it's just one of my favourite traditions, just to get all Christmassy. Number 5 on my list is having a Christmas Day walk. After having Christmas dinner and, you know, gorging and indulging yourself on all the Christmas foods, I like to have a good chill out on the sofa and, you know, leave all the washing up for later. But I do love to have a good walk. I like to just get my wellies on, get dressed up nice and warm, and just go for a nice walk. We have moved to a new area, so I don't actually know where we would go for our walk this year. But before I lived in Chester city centre, and we used to walk around the walls, and that would be like our Christmassy walk, and we'd just talk about the day, what we love the most, and it's just good to get a bit of fresh air because usually people come to us, we don't tend to get out of the house, so I like to do a little traditional Christmas walk. This was all offset when I was little and my auntie lived on a farm. She married a farmer, and after having Christmas dinner with all my family around the table, we would just go and walk around the fields with all my little cousins, and it's just been a memory that I've loved. When I look back at Christmas, I always think of those lovely Christmas walks after dinner. I really want to incorporate that into my Christmas traditions as well with my children. Number 6 is another Christmas Day tradition. For the past 4 years now, maybe 5, I have started to make a Christmas Day punch. It's a really good boozy recipe. I think I found it on Pinterest. It's basically a Prosecco punch, and The alcohol in it is Prosecco and an apricot brandy with, I think, some Chambord, and it's basically got pear and cranberry inside with lots of ice, and it is such a festive, boozy treat. I think I did make some last year, but obviously I can't go to town on it like I did before. We just put it in a big jug and I would pour it out among like our family members, and I would just, you know, just take glasses of it whenever I could. Obviously I can't quite do that anymore with 2 babies, but it's such a fab drink to have on Christmas Day, and I've made it every Christmas Day now for a while, so that is definitely one of my Christmas traditions, and I love making it. It's just one of my favourites. Number 7 on my list is Christmas stockings. Matthew and I have never really made stockings before for each other because my mum tend to make them for us. But last year, because my mum is just focusing on the children now instead of Matthew and I came up with a fun way to just make sure that me and Matthew still got a stocking each. And our new tradition is to just go to the pound shop, have a £10 budget, and then pick up whatever we can for £10. We have already completed this task, but due to coronavirus, the pound shop is currently closed where we live, so we ended up going to a shop called Wilko, which was a little bit trickier because obviously not everything is a pound. So I managed to come in at £9.95, and I've got some good ones for his stocking filler, and this was such a fun activity to do, and I'm definitely going to be keeping this as a Christmas tradition throughout the years. And number 8 is having a good Christmas shopping day out. I tend to pick up things throughout the year and put them aside, but I do love to allocate one day of the year just where I can go and get all the last minute bits done. Go out for a Christmassy meal, and before I had children this was mainly going out for the day with my husband, having a few Christmassy cocktails. Obviously we can't kind of do that anymore. We went to Oxford the other day and it was really nice because we got to go to a few Christmas markets and complete our Christmas shopping that way. So it's really nice to just get into the festive spirit, going Christmas shopping and trying to find the Christmas market. And number 9 on my Christmas Eve traditions this year is going to be a Christmas Eve box. This isn't really a tradition of mine yet because we've never done it before. So I'd like to add it to this year's list. I really want it to become a tradition. I never really had one of these growing up, but I think it's just such a lovely idea to get a box, fill it with Christmassy books, films, pyjamas, things like hot chocolate and Christmas snacks. And then on Christmas Eve, your children get to go and pick up the box, get changed into the Christmas pyjamas, and you all sit down and watch a film, and before you go to bed you read the Christmas story, and you can have like your hot chocolates. I think this is such a lovely little tradition when you have children, and I cannot wait to start that this year. Didier may be a little bit too young to kind of understand what's going on because he isn't 2 yet, but hopefully we can just do it every year and then he can look back at those lovely traditions. And last on my list of Christmas traditions is every year we go to a Christmas market. I have been with Matthew now for almost 10 years, and every single Christmas without fail we manage to get around the UK to go and visit some of the UK's like best Christmas markets. We've done like London Hyde Park a few times, like Leeds, York, Nottingham, Manchester, Liverpool. This year, obviously with coronavirus, most of them have been cancelled. We had plans to go to York this year and stay with family, but due to corona we can't, so everything got cancelled. This year we're just going to have to write it off, but this is one of our Christmas traditions and I cannot wait for next year when we can finally take both our babies and they can both sample all like the Christmassy food and all the excitement. And along with the Christmas markets, every single year since Matthew and I have been together, it has been our little tradition to pick up Christmas decorations from the market. So this is one of my favourites. It's a little Dutch house that's got a bell in it. I'm obsessed. Amsterdam is one of my favourite cities in the world, and I had to pick this up when I saw it. We also particularly love these little hand-carved wooden ones. They're so cheap and cheerful and they're so lovely to have as little keepsake. Little hand-carved ones like this, they are so beautiful, and I'm so glad that we have this kind of tradition of picking ones like these up. And last but not least, this year I'm starting a new tradition of picking up these Christmas decorations. So this year we are now a family of 4, and I picked this one up and it's Merry Christmas of 2020, and we've got Dada, Mama, Didier and Nina. I really want to go back and get a 2019 one where it just says Mama, Dada and Didier, and then even a 2018 one where it's just 2 and it says Mama and Dada. And every year now I definitely want to make this a tradition that, you know, we get to see them grow as we get older, and even if we have another little baby one day, we can get 5 stuff in one, and we can add the little baby on. So there we have it, 10 of my Christmas traditions. Some of these are new, as I mentioned before, some of these are pretty old and things that I did when I was a child. I hope you like them. I certainly hope that my children enjoy doing these traditions as much as I did when I was little, and I hope that I can make these traditions really fun for them to do it when they're older, and it can just bring back all of those nostalgic memories for them too. Please let me know down in the comments if you have any of these traditions or what your Christmas traditions are. Thank you again so much for watching and for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Whatever we do, we will be alright. These holidays